Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. You're listening to the Women's Broadcast Television Expert Spotlight Show. WBTVN is the all-women's internet television station with content that's created by women and for women. And I'm your host, Shea Vaughn. I'm so excited about our guest today because we're going to be talking about angels. And if you don't believe in them, she's going to make sure that you do before we get off this show today. So Gina Cannone says that it's time to believe in angels, spirit guides, and yourself. Gina, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Shea. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah, me too. So tell me a little bit about your background, growing up, your parents, siblings, that kind of thing, so that we can kind of get the journey that brought you to where we are today.
Well, I grew up in New York in a beautiful household. My mother was a concert pianist, and I got to listen to beautiful music every day, and I did end up learning how to play piano very well. Not without the guidance of my angels to add that in, because it was hard work.
Always.
And I prayed for energy and confidence to continue with the studies. But I had to choose. I was a dancer. I think I've lived a lot of past lives. I
want to share with you, though, that my whole background was in dance. And dance taught me such discipline, showing up, learning the routines, performing, being part of a team. And it's not all about yourself. It is hard work. And it gave me the discipline in my life that carries through to every morning. I'm up at between 4 o'clock and 4:30, and I'm in the gym working out and teaching at least, by 5 o'clock. So I love dance and what it can do, sports and anything that really calls upon you to, to be part of a team, to show up and to make it work is a great lesson in life. And so hopefully we take the benefits from that.
Yeah, it is. And it's a beautiful art form.
Oh my goodness, so creative.
And I remember my parents saying, because I was the firstborn, and they're like, we're so lucky to have this child, because at age 10, they said, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, I want to go to the ballet in New York, and I want to go for a French dinner. And my father was like, thank you, Lord.
Wow, 10 years old and knowing what you want to do. And they're in the right place in New York to go and do all those fabulous things that that you were coming up with. That's great.
It is amazing. But I was natural born artist. And at age 10, even my teachers said that this child's going to be an artist. So I had to choose between dance college and art college. So I ended up going to FIT, that's Institute of Technology. I have a degree in fine art. Mm-hmm. And I ended up being one of the top muralists in the tri-state area.
Okay.
But through the whole journey of all of that, I was always spiritual. I was also a medium and very clairvoyant. And as a young person, I didn't have a handle on it. So I kind of let it just, as it happened. But then as I got a little older, things were happening a little more clearer. And I found the power of prayer. And I started praying, not only for myself, but for other people. And it would just get answered. And just every prayer I would be surprised. Like, I can't believe, I asked for something so difficult and it came to me. But I prayed from the heart and the soul. So there's a way to pray. And then through the years, I just kept going with my spirituality and my mediumship. And all the stories through life led me to the point I am today, where I heard an angel's voice say, write the book. And I teach life coaching, hypnotic life coaching at the Institute of Hypnotherapy. And in that coaching session, I tell everybody, you have to have an accountability buddy. So once you tell somebody you're going to do something, but it has to be the right person that's going to actually want to know when you finish or complete what you're telling them.
Exactly.
So I had angels that were my accountability buddies. So it didn't get any higher than that. You know, it was like, oh, I promised them I would finish this book. And I did put it, you know, life takes you on, you know, through ups and downs, and you do get a little sidetracked. And I did get sidetracked. I got very ill, and I had a lot of loss year after year after year.
Okay.
And then the angels came back to me and said, you promised. And I did promise, but I didn't hold to my promise. So they were still nudging me, and I ended up finishing the book. And it's a beautiful book about true stories, about clairvoyant and psychic events and the power of prayer. But there's 2 great chapters in this book for not only women, but everybody. How to focus, and also how to lose the fear and to not be afraid anymore, to just to get on your true path in life. Because I feel like fear holds a lot of people back. I've helped a lot of people cross that barrier, in, you know, the fear barrier, and they're like, my life has changed. I read the book, it's changed. I had another book.
I just want to say that's great, because I was talking to another person that I interviewed, Dave, and we were talking about fear. And fear is, you know, one of the biggest things that really, you know, hold us back. That, and being almost, you know, the opposite of that is that, can I really handle success? Yeah. And so, but fear does nothing but just keep us in limbo, because we're never going to know if we don't put that foot in the water and put our toe in first and then just dive in. And, you know, I think that sometimes what we forget is that it's okay to fail. Failures, you know, the failing things in our lives have taught us the greatest lessons, and we don't repeat them again. It's only New Year's resolutions that I talk about that we repeat all the time. And they're forgotten in 3 weeks. But the fear part of it is really procrastination more than anything else. It's just that you're not preparing yourself to really dive in. And so sitting on the sidelines does nothing but keep our feet in cement. And every year, just asking ourselves why we're in the same position. And we look in the mirror and we say, who is that?
Yes, procrastination is a big issue. Well, I'm a board certified hypnotherapist, a clinical hypnotherapist. And, you know, I teach hypnotic life coaching. And it really helps to remove these barriers and blockers that come across your life, and to really use that as a tool helps a lot. You know, and once people do cross that fear barrier and they can learn how to focus, I feel like a lot of people are just not organized, or also they don't know how to reach each level. So I tell them to take baby steps.
Always, yeah. You got to start somewhere.
I know, but there's 2 kinds of fear.
First step forward, you know, that's the compelling thing, because nothing stays just in place. Just like the earth, you know, is revolving, so does our lives. And going backwards and going backwards and going backwards makes us disappear. And many of us do live like that, and we just deteriorate. And we lose, you know, our enthusiasm. And I'm that kind of girl that, you know, I want to be out there. I don't want everybody else having the fun doing it. You know, I want to jump in with both feet and enjoy and keep moving and be a part of what life really has in store for you. You say you may not believe in angels, but they believe in you. So tell me where you came up with this. I mean, you've showed your background with the angels. You know, many times I've had people, and I have felt it, where I feel like God's given me a message that I need to do something that I've been putting off. And somehow it just keeps coming back and hitting me in the face, right?
Yes, I feel
thing where angels are concerned, because I definitely believe in angels and guides and all of those things. And I think that sometimes we're just not tuned into it because we're not aware of it. And so I really want people from this interview to, number one, know that they just really, they can tune into that. And we do all have guides in our lives. And we're not just here, even if our parents are not with us, or, or we don't have other siblings or that kind of thing. You're still not alone, because you do have your guides. You still have angels. You have spiritual people that care about you, that are trying to give you the right directions. But just like anything else, if we're not tuned into it, we're not going to hear it. We just keep going in the wrong direction. Turn around, go the other direction.
I know that's 100% right. Every day, you are getting sent signs and messages, and it's like that person who wants to change jobs. Let's just use that as an example. So they want to change jobs, and they'll get 3 signs that week of a new job, but they don't take it. They don't go for the interview. They're too busy. It's not like the signs and the messages and the help wasn't sent to them. It was.
Yeah, exactly.
They just don't take it.
We didn't see it. Every place that we go, there is a message.
Well, what's even worse, maybe they've seen it and they didn't act upon it.
Right. Well, that's it. It's always there.
It's even worse if that happens, if you just don't see it. But I tell people to turn the radio off in the car. I tell people to find that quiet place, because the answers are there. They come to you. But sometimes there's so much outside, noise coming into you that you're not paying attention to everything. But I have seen an angel a few times. I've seen orbs. In my book, there is a picture of an angel that was caught on camera. And there's another photo of a spirit, an earthbound spirit. And even the difference in what they look like is night and day. The angel is white and airy, and the spirit is a grayish, it's clear as day, of a face. And it's quite impressive. And I feel blessed to have those photos, because people still want to see. You can talk all day. They still want to see something. So I feel like my higher source knew I was going to do this book, and I have these 2 photos. And if I never got another photo in life, I'm good. But the angels are there, and your spirit guides. Angels were never earthbound and were never in human form.
Right.
People who don't know the difference.
Not like somebody who passed away and became an angel, is what you're saying. They've always been angels, and they've always been out there to help guide us. Right.
And the spirit guides are those who have passed, who were earthbound.
Exactly.
So there's a difference, and they're always there to help us. Right. Did you ever have a goal, and you've attained the goal, and at the end of it, you don't really know how you got there? That's divine intervention.
Well, that happens to me every day, because I'm terrible at directions. And I'm grateful every time I get to where I'm supposed to be.
So am I. But I have chosen hard things to accomplish in general. And, when you're doing it, you're fine. Everything, you're working. But then you're getting to reaching each step of those goals. And I'm like, I don't know how I got here. I can't believe I made it here. Like, that's because angels are sending you what you need. They send you people too.
They do.
They send you the right people at the right time to help you get to the right place. If things are not right, people call me up and say, Gina, I didn't get that. I'm like, well, you weren't supposed to get it, or it's not the right time. There is a timing of things, and sometimes they're protecting you from something that's not right, and you're not supposed to have something.
I'm sitting here and I'm thinking way back, the book, The Celestine Prophet. It really talked about a lot of the things, the journey that was there was, nothing happens, without a purpose. And it's not just that it just happened. It was meant to. Now, it doesn't mean that you pick up on everything, but that's really what that journey was really all about. And, I think that some people probably read it and, thought differently about it because they weren't ready. Some people are not at a stage in their life where they have experienced what you're talking about. But, if you had, what would you say to someone that is kind of struggling with that? They'd like to be believers, they want to, tune in and unlock that door, but they're struggling with it. What would be your words of wisdom?
Well, there's the two kinds of people if they're very nervous about actually learning about spirit and that they might be afraid. So then they may not get.
No, I think they're definitely afraid because, oh my goodness, what would that look like?
You want to know the craziest thing is I had a client yesterday and, I said, you're not asking the right questions to your angels and spirit guides. And she goes, I think you're right. So I said, the reason why you're not asking the right questions is because you're not going to like the answers.
Right.
I always listen to my angels and spirit guides, no matter what they say. I've moved twice out of the blue, and but that people are afraid for those answers.
Yeah.
So they may not want to tune in yet. They may not be ready to tune in. I would tell them to start slow and meditate. And just ask if they have a problem or an issue, to ask for some kind of guidance and to kind of listen and be aware, and they will get an answer, but they have to be able to act upon the answer that they get.
What are you most grateful for?
I am grateful for having a second chance with my life. I was told I had 3 years left to live about 18 months ago. And everything came about that I was very ill. And I said a prayer. It was deeper than a prayer. I can't explain the depth of this, but it was almost like I was groveling. And I saw Jesus. I saw my parents. I saw my husband. They had passed. And it was, I said, I don't know what kind of healing I'm asking for, but I can't handle this. This was beyond. And I didn't really know what I needed. I needed a miracle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. You've kind of cut off on me, so you're frozen.
So I'm in the, the surgeon says to me, I'm baffled. I left you on the operating table and I thought they sent up the wrong pathology report. I searched you high and low. I don't understand. He goes, you won the lottery. He says, I never use this word, but I feel like you got a miracle. And I said, I did. I'm so grateful for my life. And I knew after that I was going to continue with my spirituality and my teachings and write more books. And even if it's one person at a time, I want people to understand and believe that our souls go on. And
absolutely.
And it's a beautiful way to live. I'm so free now.
It's yeah.
Yeah. So I'm grateful,
Well, that's a great thing to be grateful for, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that sickness to get to where you are. But sometimes those are the things that bring the most gratefulness, within.
Absolutely, and all the hardships I've had through life, everybody has them.
They do.
But I had a revelation in my car. It was like 2 months ago, and every year something would happen, and it went on for over like 12 years. And every year I'd be like, oh, really? Come on. Then I turned it around. I was like, I want more. Go ahead. Just keep piling it on. I just started laughing. All right.
I can take more. It's okay. Give it to me.
Bring it on. Let's get it through. I want to get done with everything. But I can never be a great hypnotherapist and help all the people that I help if I didn't go through all that, because it came to me. I said, I get it now. You made me go through all of this so that when somebody comes to me and says, I've had this issue or problem for 7 years, or I've had this for over 10 years, and I look at them, I go, I understand.
Right.
I understand. So I can help so many more people because of all the things I went through.
Absolutely.
And I'm grateful for that now. Not when I was in it.
I'm grateful too for that. You know, I want the listeners to know where they can reach you. So can you give us, do you have a website that you can tell them to go to?
Sure, I do. It's my company name is GC Hypnotherapy, and www.gchypnotherapy.com.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we're all going to want to go on there and see all the great things that you're doing. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being our guest today, Gina. We certainly appreciate that. I want to say thank you to the viewers today also for joining us, and to remind them that if you would like to be interviewed on Women's Broadcast Television Network, you can go to our website, WBTVN.tv, and you can just fill out the form and send it to us, and we'll give you a call. So thank you for joining us today. We are grateful to have our guests and to have you join us. Until the next time, thank you again.
Thank you, Shea.